When I tell you that this was the most traumatizing experience of my entire life, I truthfully mean it in every single way possible. You might be thinking that it was something like a car crash or just something other, like equally as traumatic, but no. What I'm about to tell you today, it like pales in comparison. Like you wish, if you were me, you would have wished that those were the experience that we had, because like what I'm gonna say is like, it's just awful. Like the most traumatizing experience a human being has ever had and most likely will have for the foreseeable future. So let me, I guess, set the stage for you really quick. So there I was taking a shower and finishing up said shower at the most reasonable time of like 1 a.m. or something like that. Not a care in the world. Now keep in mind, I do have a roommate, so you know that should be taken into consideration. So obviously I wasn't being, you know, overly noisy for the time being. You know, obviously I was, you know, considering his sleep. I wasn't going to like just start making a ton of noise or anything like that. That would be, you know, extremely inconsiderate and rude and that type of thing. Like this guy trying to break my bed, although he hasn't yet, which is hopefully that he wants to fight. Does he want to fight? So anyways, back on topic. It was like 1 a.m. Obviously, I was being considered for my roommates, you know, because I wasn't going to start making a bunch of noise at that time like I usually do. So then I opened the door out of the bathroom, you know, once again, minding my own business, not a care in the world. And then I get jumped by a giant cockroach that's just there. How in the world did you hit me? Hello? What is this? Okay, I guess we're fine. Like I said, I was jumped by a massive cockroach. It was just there on the ground. I have never been so scared and traumatized in my entire life. Like fight or flight, survival instincts kicked to the max. It was the most like, I don't know, it was the most locked in I had ever been in my entire life up until that point, and probably as much as I ever will be. There's an aqua guy over here with diamond armor. This is not good. Let's see if I can make some magic happen here. What? How did you deflect that? Nope. Stop deflecting it. That's extremely... Well, I guess it serves as a good allegory to how the 1v1 went. Obviously, I didn't die to the cockroach, as evident by me, you know, being able to live to tell the tale and things like that of that nature. But it more or less pretty much might have well have went that same way, because I am not the exterminator type when it comes to like, okay, can you really not? When it comes to bugs in the house and stuff like that, obviously there's got to be the exterminator type, and like, I guess like traditionally or stereotypically or whatever you want to call it, it's always like the man's job to do it, because the mans are like the buff, gruff, you know, bugs don't scare me type of person. But that is not me. I'm not the exterminator type. I mean, I can handle like little spiders here and there, but like cockroaches, you know, things that are pretty much immortal that don't die, yeah, no, I'm just as scared of them as everybody else. I don't want them touching me, I don't want them nearing me, and I don't have a can of Raid with me in my residency right now, so things are just not looking good for me to deal with things like that. And it's just really, it's a whole mess, just like this guy, you know, just kind of being, hey. Okay, that was just a whole nightmare of things that just did not work in my favor. So normally I would probably try to find something that's like heavy that I can drop onto it. However, this was not going to really be the case, because I didn't want to make too much noise, because like I said, it was 1 a.m. So obviously I didn't want to make any, you know, like amount of noise or whatever. I don't know. I was kind of concerned with whatever this guy was saying. This guy's like 500 and he just rage quit. Okay, that works. Just made him rage quit the game. Okay, that works. I mean, I don't really have anything too heavy in my like residency right now anyways. I mean, the probably best I could do is like a shoe or something, but like I said, even then, just dropping that at 1 a.m. when my roommate is like sleeping or trying to sleep or something like that, I don't want to wake him up. I don't want to make all that noise. So my best strategy was to grab like a broom, even though of course that wasn't going to do anything, because it's a roach. These things are immortal, and like a broom is like barely even 5 pounds, or for those of you that don't understand that type of unit, I guess, it's like 1 gram of weight or something like that. I don't know the metric system. I'm sorry, I'm a filthy American. But for the most part, my strategy consisted of kind of sort of luring it to a place where I can like kind of get it into the toilet, and then obviously just like flush it down. That would have been the easiest way, the most non like transactional way to go about it, because like I said, I didn't want to touch it. I didn't even want to be near this thing, and the broom served as a great means to like, I don't know, keep my distance, because it's like, I don't know, like 5 or 4 feet long or something like that. And once again, for the freedom haters, I don't know how long that is. Now, of course, being in the situation, that is not at all how the fight went. This cockroach was just so determined to not die or even be paralyzed or anything like that. I mean, I think a couple of times it tried walking up on the wall, and then I would knock it down and trying to flip it over or whatever, and then it would like sit on its back and just kind of struggle there or whatever. And like most definitely that was my moment to strike, but like I said, all I had was a broom and stuff like that, so I didn't really have like the greatest like weapon assortment or whatever. And I do want to do want to emphasize that this whole like 1v1 fight, you know, I thought I was doing good for myself at the time, because I thought like, oh, I'm taking a shower relatively early. Yes, 1 a.m. isn't early for me for my bedtime, leave me alone. But I thought I was gonna go to bed, you know, nice and early, take an early shower, all was well. But nope, this whole fight, this whole 1v1 had to take like 30 minutes worth of time and just completely evaporate any hope that I had of, you know, going to bed early that night, which is just absolutely amazing. Maybe just Mother Nature was like, you know what, I don't want you to sleep well tonight. You're gonna have a horrible night, not only because you're gonna go to bed 30 minutes later, but also because you're gonna be thinking about how this roach is just sitting in your existence, and whether or not you kill it, it's relevant, because now you know that there is a cockroach here. Maybe there's more, and you never can truly be safe in your own home anymore. Giant long tangent aside, but eventually it kind of like scooted its way over to the shower. Now this is not like a bathtub type of shower. It literally is just like a stand-up shower or whatever, so it's not like, you know, a super wide basin or anything like that for it to get trapped or anything like that. But I mean, I did turn on the water in there in hopes of like waterboarding it or drowning, which I mean, it's like it works even though it didn't actually do anything. But I don't know, like I said, this is at 1 a.m. I didn't want to make any noise, and I was really tired, and there was a lot of like outside factors determining as to whether or not I was going to successfully kill the cockroach in question, just like as if I'm going to kill this guy in question or something like that. I don't know, I'm trying to be relatable to what's going on in the game. Are you... Well, I guess once again, that serves as another transition as to how the fight went. So, of course, you know, a cockroach being a cockroach, he was kind of climbing around or whatever, doing whatever it was trying to do. And at one point, it did jump off the wall and, like, pseudo start flying. I don't know it at the time, like, I remembered that these things can fly, but that just makes them all the more terrifying. The fact that these things can fly as well, like, I don't know what God was thinking or something like that when he made the cockroaches. Like, why? Why do we even need the cockroaches in the first place? All they do is exist and spread diseases and be annoying and all that type of stuff, and they can fly, as if they couldn't be any more of a nuisance and anything. Like, it's just a whole mess, and I don't know why they are the way they are. But anyways, TLDR, it eventually made its way onto the ground once again on its back, and there's like a drain catch thing or whatever. So like there's the main thing for the drain of the shower. Oh my gosh, I had half a heart. I have no idea how I won that. There's of course like the main grate for the drain that can be removed from the shower, and then on top of it there's like, I don't know what it's called, like a lid, or it's like a filter or something like that. It's just a thing that like kind of sits on top of like the grates, if you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down, even though I'm just like explaining it in the most complicated way imaginable. But anyways, I grabbed the thing on the top and then put it on top of the roach, and then there it was just kind of paralyzed under there. So my strategy was that I could remove the grate of the shower and then slide the thing that was sitting under over like the empty hole where the whatever the drain was, and then that would be the means to get it down like a pipe or whatever, and then erase it from existence. And that it pseudo worked, although it didn't work at all at the same time. So I essentially pseudo flushed it down like the shower drain or whatever, you know, put some water in there just to kind of like help it like go down the drain or whatever. And then like 10 minutes later, something like that, I went to check on it, and then I remove the shower grate thing or whatever. This guy is just being all kinds of annoying. I remove the shower grate thing, and there it is. It's still crawling around. It's still fighting for its life. Now granted, the shower drain wasn't like the greatest at like flushing down, which makes sense. It's not supposed to be like a toilet. It's not meant to flush. It's just supposed to be a means of like transporting all the water that's in the shower out of the basin of the shower. But like anyways, the roach was just sitting there, and it was just a whole nightmare because I just left it there for the night because like I'm tired, I'm done, I've spent like 30 minutes on this and I want to go to bed. So I just left it there for the night. Like I just didn't really concern myself with it too much. And then I checked back the next morning, and it was still there, just hanging around, just being annoying as ever. Because I don't know, my like thought process was that maybe the roach would get bored, even though like these animals are not like sentient or anything like that, if you can even call a cockroach an animal. These animals are not like sentient, you know, so that I don't think they have like the mental capacity to get necessarily bored. But I feel like just sitting in that tiny little area of the shower drain would get like useless. Like maybe it would like register in his fish brain like, oh my goodness, I've been sitting here for 7 hours and nothing has happened. Maybe I should not sit here for 7 hours, and maybe something different will happen. But I don't know, maybe these things are just so endurant to everything, including boredom, so they just decided, can you not come back and fight? Oh my gosh. Now the night before, I looked into some methods on how to get rid of it like in a more efficient manner that's better than whatever I did. But I mean, there were some great options, like, you know, pouring hot water on it, doing like dish soap or whatever if you didn't have raid, because it would like like murder their exoskeletons or something like that, all of which were good, and that did result in me just like leaving the hot water on for a little bit there and pouring dish soap down the drain, which I mean it should be fine. I mean it's dish soap, it's liquid dish soap, so I don't see any issue with like it pouring down the drain or anything like that. But that was just my thought process, and I think some of it worked because I checked back the next day and I didn't see any roach in there. So I mean I think we're good, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it eventually did get bored enough and decided to go down like the drain or something like that. I'm honestly not sure, but like anything to get rid of it. But like I said, I don't feel 100% safe because I did not see like the dead corpse of the roach anywhere, so I'm not 100% certain that it is dead, but it has been a couple days now. But anyways, moral of the story, what have we learned today? Well, obviously I am a ginormous wuss, and when it comes to like future relationships or whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to be the exterminator unless it's like tiny little spiders that are completely harmless to the human being. Then maybe I will be, but outside of that, nope. I'm hoping that it's not going to be me that's going to be exterminator. We should end the game here pretty quickly, so we just got to bow down this guy who's sitting on like the precarious little island right here. And yeah, you just keep building that stuff up. That's fine by me. I'm just gonna keep on shooting you down and cyberbullying you, and that's, oh my gosh, do you really have to be this annoying? Can this guy like not be annoying? Can you follow? Thank you. Very, very convenient. Stop trying to be surviving like the cockroach. No more of that. Just like the cockroach, you are dead and I am victorious. Well, like I said, that was one of the most truly traumatizing experiences of my life, and I hope to not have another one in the near future because yep, that took years off of my life and soul. But anyways, if you enjoyed this terrific epic 1v1 that I had IRL in real life, then you'll feel free to leave a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And here's to hoping that I don't have to fight a cockroach in the near future, or you as well, unless you are like an exterminator or something like that, which shoutouts to you. I don't know how you have the, I guess, fearlessness of that. Anyways, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Take care.